Being here today, I'm Don Hunt, the Executive Director of the Colorado Department of Transportation. We haven't done this for a little while. So it's great to see this many people come to find out about where we're headed with transportation in Colorado. We have nearly 500 business, industry leaders, elected officials, and community partners. In particular, I am really thankful that we have here today some of our legislators who are very much holding the key to the future on this topic. I would like to recognize, and could you stand and hold your applause until I recognize everyone. Representative Max Tyler, please stand, the chair of the House Transportation Committee. Representative Dominic Moreno, Vice Chair, House Transportation. Representative Ray Scott, Ranking Member of House Transportation. Representative Diane Mitch Bush, Member of House Transportation. Representative K.C. Becker, Member of House Transportation. Senator Nancy Todd, Chair of the Senate Transportation. I would like you to all acknowledge our elected officials, our legislators. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being part of this discussion today. So what you really want to know is how long I'm going to stand up here before I turn it over to Mike Nelson for this weekend's ski forecast. I won't be here too long, but before I give you my forecast for the I-70 Mountain Corridor, there might be a little traffic again this weekend. Once in a while we have traffic on the weekends on the I-70 Mountain Corridor, but I'll make the pitch. We have people checking your automobile tires to make sure there's adequate tread. We're all over, so just make it really easy on yourselves. Make sure you have adequate tread. MS snow tires, that's what you need to drive in that mountain corridor during the winter time. So the reason we're here today is because like we do at CDOT, we want to recognize the role that transportation plays in our economy, in our vitality, in the well-being of the state, and whether it's hitting the slopes or transporting goods or creating a way to get to Main Street. That's why we're all here. We want the whole system to work well. At CDOT, we often gather with our policymakers to discuss the right approaches to transportation to ensure economic growth and to meet the needs of our state. We talk with our industry leaders about how we could deliver the most and get the most from our transportation system. We talk to individual business leaders about the impact of our projects and how they affect our ability to grow, to create jobs, to attract and retain employees, or to get goods to market. And we join our community partners here today to discuss how the transportation system can be part of delivering a vibrant state. But we rarely discuss all of this together, with all of you in the same room. We thought, along with our partners in this event, that it was time to have that conversation all together. Private, public, the entire state of Colorado. That's what the Transportation Matters Summit is all about, creating an opportunity for all of you in each of your special and distinctive roles across the state of Colorado to spend an afternoon together. And it's very rewarding to see this room filled after having not had one of these for about 5 years. So we're here to gain an understanding of the state of transportation in Colorado, to learn more about the future of transportation, and it is changing, to understand the trends and what is happening in states around us, and how Colorado compares, and how we will ultimately compete with the states in the Rocky Mountain West. Today's event would not be possible without the support of all of our partners and sponsors. I would like to specifically thank, in addition to the CDOT folks who put this together, the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce, the Colorado Competitive Council, Colorado Contractors Association, American Council of Engineering Companies, and Move Colorado for helping to plan this event. If you could give all of those organizations a round of applause. And as you know, you can't keep these events affordable unless you have sponsors. I'd like to recognize Atkins, Tavares, Holderness, and Simmons, AECOM, and Kiewit Construction, if you could give them a hand. So we're starting a conversation here today that we hope is in fact just that start, that we can continue it on into the future. I know that each of you have an idea how to fix Mountain I-70, and if you could pull your napkins out right now, take a pen and draw up how we should fix that. We have highway options, we have monorail options, we have particle beam options. I think we have pretty well exhausted it. But that is an important corridor to think about and to talk about. And so I think I have said all I need to say. We're very lucky here to have Mike Nelson, our esteemed Master of Ceremonies. He brings together, like a fine wine, transportation and weather. Actually, transportation with some of the weather you bring, Mike, I am not too fond of, but we have to be able to ski as well. Mike is the chief meteorologist for 7 News Denver. He's won 18 Emmy Awards, including 15 for the best weather anchor. In 2001, he was recognized by the Colorado Broadcasters Association as our Citizen of the Year for his volunteer work in Colorado schools. I would like to give Mike Nelson a great round of applause and welcome. Mike?
Thanks, Don. Very nice to be here with all of you today, especially this week. I'm glad we didn't hold this last week when it was 14 below zero. The welcome is always a lot chillier for the weatherman when it's doing that kind of stuff. What a nice day today. Right now 48 degrees, partly cloudy, light winds. Air quality moderate today. It's not quite as clear as we'd like it, but it's not too bad. Wonderful to see all of you today, and we have a big group here. I have to say that I would have been here about 10 minutes earlier, but I-25 northbound was going a little slow through the tech center today. Somebody must have been texting because we had a little front end bang kind of thing going on. Wonder when they're doing that. Like I'm driving right. Oh crap! They've got the crash. I was given this when I came in today. How many of you were so glad to see us go back to the original classic? Yes. Welcome to Colorful Colorado. I love that. How many people here were lucky enough to be born here? Okay. And so the rest of us all came here later on, and this is one of the first things you saw. When I was a kid growing up in Madison, Wisconsin as a teenager, we'd get whatever car we could get from our parents and borrow it, and then about 6 or 7 of us would pile into the car with the skis on the top, and we'd drive all night long and all the next day to get to Colorado. And I remember the first time we came out here, we're just getting off of I-80 onto 76, and we see that sign, and it's like, we're going to be skiing in no time. And then it's like, where are the mountains? And an hour later, where are the mountains? Where are those mountains? You finally get here. So I was not always super savvy about Colorado weather. I've gotten better at it now, but the first time that we came out here, just my wife and I, at that time my girlfriend and I, which is a whole other story, but Cindy and I came out, and we're in our Volkswagen Rabbit, and we're going to drive up to Steamboat. So we get about out to Sterling, and we're listening on the radio, and we managed to pick up KOA, and they're talking about winter storm warnings in the mountains, and the chain laws are in effect. And it's typical, it's not snowing where we are, the sun was out and everything, but it's snowing in the mountains. So I say, honey, you know, I am a meteorologist, so just trust me on this. So we get to Aurora, and it's March, we're going to go up to Steamboat. And it's partly cloudy, but we're still hearing roads closed, chain laws, and I was going to say, honey, we need to get chains. So we pull into a Kmart in Aurora, and we go in, and it's March. They don't have any chains anymore. Everybody would buy chains, they had them. So there's this one pair of these newfangled chains, and they are nylon and plastic. with snaps. And it's supposed to work really good. So we get out in the parking lot, and I say, sweetheart, listen to me, trust me on this, we should probably put these on now. So that we're not out in the blizzard trying to put the chains on. So we chain up our little bright, it's a school bus yellow Rabbit. And these chains have yellow plastic. I mean, it looks like a kiddie car now. And we pull back out onto 70 out, you know, with east side of town. It's like 60 degrees. And I'm perspiring after putting the chains on. And we're going down the road at about 40 miles an hour, shaking our brains out with these chains. And everybody's passing us, pointing at the funny yellow car from Wisconsin. Finally, about Golden, it's still 50 degrees. And I pull off, and these chains have like melted all over my car tires. So we finally take the chains off, get up there, and of course, what, about 5 miles later, it's snowing like crazy. So I did get better at that later on, but not necessarily at the start. And I always wondered this, too. When you're driving across the Eastern Plains, and I gotta hand it to CDOT, the road on I-76 is way better than I-80 is in Nebraska, so thank you. It was way better when we got back into the state. But I'm thinking 150 years ago, when the pioneers first came out to Colorado in their Conestoga wagon, and you know, the husband has been selling this to his wife the whole way across Nebraska. Honey, this is going to be great. We're going to have a farm, and it's going to be really, really nice. And they've got the oxen, and one of these Colorado thunderstorms hits. And there's baseball-sized hail ripping through the fabric on the wagon, and there's tornadoes off in the distance and all this. What kind of icy, cold stare do you think that wife was giving her husband as they're slogging along in this wagon? I'm thinking it's like... And he's got the reins on the oxen. She's thinking, oh yeah, we had a nice brownstone in Philadelphia, but no, you had to be Mr. Big Shot Farmer. But he's probably going to say, this is really cool weather. At least that's the way I feel about it. I think a lot of us like to watch storms. So anyway, I digress, because they normally only give me 2.5 minutes to talk on TV, so I'm going to take a little bit more. Keep eating. You know, there's a lot of data out there saying people watch news just for the weather. I always like that. The only time they disagree with that data is when I'm sitting down and talking about a new contract with my boss. And they say, no, they watch for other reasons. Mostly in the morning, people like to tune in for the weather and the traffic. They like to see if the forecast is right, and then they want to see what the secret route is to get to their job or to their school. Anybody that's watching is a pseudo-meteorologist or a traffic engineer in the making. There's a lot of overlap between what I do and what you guys do as far as comments, the suggestions that we hear about how to improve what we do. I mean, Don was talking about suggestions about how to improve the I-70 corridor going up the mountains. I get those same suggestions as I do my job better every single day. I might hear, hey Mike, why'd you let it snow last night? And I always answer that, you know, I haven't quite figured out weather control. I'm working on the forecast. If I get the weather control, I doubt I'm going to be working until 11 o'clock at night. I'll be on an island somewhere in the Caribbean, and I'll just phone it in from there. But transportation people here, you should just stop having accidents out there. Why do people have accidents? My drive would be better. I get to hear, why are your bad weather reports more often right than the good ones? Transportation people here, why do you let I-70 in the mountains clog up during the weekends? It doesn't happen during the week. I think if the weather didn't change, though, I mean, the variety makes it a lot of fun here. And without weather and talking about the roads and stuff, I mean, those are conversation starters. Everybody's got a story to tell about that. Transportation touches every aspect of our lives, whether we're getting up to go to the store, to the job, kids to school, heading up to the mountains. And if we aren't driving in it, we're talking about it. So that's what we're all here to do today, is talk more about it, the way that we can work together to improve our transportation system in Colorado. It's important, and it's something that I'm glad that all of you took the time here to be with us this afternoon. To start the event today, I'd like to invite all of you to learn more about Colorado's transportation story by paying attention to a short video that we have right now.
You, us. You, us. You, us. Your life, our mission. 23,000 miles of roads, millions of people, billions of connections. For you, our economy, and for Colorado, transportation matters. But when the transportation system breaks down in terms of capacity, reliability, or choice, you're stuck. Time is lost, opportunities are missed, connections are gone when it matters the most. Who are we? We're the department of getting you to the store for food, the department of getting you to your job, getting you to fun, getting you to the fall colors, getting you to the concert, getting you to school, the department of keeping you safe on the road. We're the Colorado Department of Transportation, and it's our job to keep you moving, today and tomorrow. So what's your vision for tomorrow? What does your map look like? Reliable roads enable our farmers to reach the markets just in time. And these same roads bring essential services from urban centers to rural communities. Tourists in Colorado travel throughout the state on our roads, ride our buses, walk and bike on our trails, and arrive at our airports. The mountain resorts alone account for 30% of Colorado's tourism revenue. In order to support a growing and changing economy, our transportation system needs to keep pace. Every year in eastern Colorado, $90 billion of goods and services move on our freight corridor to supply you and others. New ways of getting people back and forth along the Front Range are fueling the state's economic engine. The transportation system connects people to jobs, and maintaining it is vital to Colorado's economy. To keep everything moving, we don't just need a good map. We need revenue, enough to balance maintenance, safety, mobility, and expansion. CDOT has the privilege of managing this system, one of the most scenic and diverse transportation networks in the United States, and it's a responsibility that we take very seriously. Our challenge is having enough revenue to help the transportation system function at its potential. Gas tax, the main source of funding for Colorado's roads, has a flat rate that has not increased in 20 years. So what does that mean? It's a little like not getting a raise in your job, but doubling your responsibilities. By 2040, our population will grow and will be driving more, overall increasing the wear and tear on our system. With vehicles becoming more efficient, we will collect less gas tax from our partners. But when money's tight, we get resourceful, and that's what we've done. By focusing on how we maintain our roads, managing how traffic flows in our highways, encouraging choices like transit, bicycling, and walking, we are truly getting more out of the system. Strategic private investments in innovative partnerships and financing are helping us shore up the gaps. Our efforts will stop the deterioration of our system for the next decade. But in order for us to meet the long-term demands, we will need to continue to develop new strategies. The statewide transportation plan helps us do just that. There are corridors around the state that need new strategies to address growth. We need to continue to maintain our roads and our bridges so you can travel safely. And our citizens are looking at improved transit and rail to get them and their goods around town or across the state. All of these are needed to keep Colorado's economy competitive, and many of these are needed to keep your life moving. With your help, we can develop a plan and a strategy that will keep Colorado thriving and moving for decades to come. Transportation matters.
The real question you always have is, hey Mike, you're going to put us on TV. So here we go. Big smiles out there, everybody. We're going to be on the 5 o'clock news tonight. All right, there we go. Giant transportation selfie right there. Now bring it back this way. Give yourselves a big round of applause. People always say everybody talks about the weather, but nobody does anything about it. And the fact is, there's not a whole lot we can do about it except deal with it. But today, there are things we can do for transportation. So we have a great afternoon planned. Continue to enjoy your lunch and dessert. We will have a panel discussion coming up here as well, where it's going to be open discussion as well. You can feel free to ask questions about things. We have 10 talks coming up. Our speakers will spend 5 minutes engaging, making you think about things, telling you something you may not have known about transportation, such as, say, the impact of millennials and transportation development, communicating the importance of transportation now and into the future. So it'll be an interactive session, and then our keynote speaker is Jim Carroll, who's an internationally recognized futurist, talking about the economic impact of the 21st century technology on transportation and how things will help us adapt to the very big challenge that we face coming up in the years ahead. Continue to enjoy your lunch. We'll be back in a few more minutes, about 1:15, to get the program rolling. Great to be here with you today. Have a good time.